Hey everyone, and welcome to our Q&A presented by Just Love. My name is Paula Jane and I'm talking to Judy Carroll. Judy is an internationally known author. Her books include The Zeta Message, Human by Day, Zeta by Night, Extraterrestrial Presence on Earth, Lessons in History, and her two most recent books, both of them Kindle editions and also both now available in German, An Interview with an Alien, Comments by an Undercover ET, and Cosmic Spirituality, Blending Religion and Science in Oneness from an Off-Planet Perspective. Hi Judy.
Hi Paula, hi everyone.
Today we continue with our conversation that we've been having in our last couple of episodes. We've been getting to know Airl, spelt A-I-R-L, from one of Judy's latest books, An Interview with an Alien, Comments by an Undercover ET. Judy wrote this book after reading editor-author Lawrence Spencer's book, Alien Interview. Spencer claims in his book to be quoting from notes put together by a military nurse by the name of Matilda MacElroy. Airl is the name of a grey ET survivor of the Roswell crash who was taken captive by the military back in 1947. As we continue to unpack the conversation that Airl is having with the nurse Matilda, we are learning some very interesting things. As we move through this planetary shift and are becoming more aware of our consciousness expanding, Airl's answers probably make more sense to us now than what they would have back in 1947. As we've been discussing, we are seeing the control much clearer now. For example, when Matilda asks Airl, "What have you learned about Earth governments and military installations?" Judy, what is Airl trying to say here with her answer, and what are your thoughts on all of this?
Okay, Airl's answer to this question is poor, small, destroy planet. As I've said in my commentary on the original book, I think that here Airl is alluding to how weak outer Earth governments are compared to the shadow government, the planetary controllers. To see this, we only need to look at the worldwide alcohol and drug problem. This is a major issue, destroying lives, impacting on health systems, and causing massive social problems. It's also the driving factor behind the majority of crime and causing mayhem in the lives of many, many people. The question that needs to be asked is, why don't world governments work together in oneness and cooperation to stop this? The answer is they cannot, because they're not in charge down here. It's the controlling shadow government that calls the shots, and they're beyond the law, with endless funds at their disposal, much of which comes from the drug and alcohol industries along with the gambling industry, which is also right up there controlling the world and ruining people's lives.
So given all the information that you've just provided, and knowing that the Greys are guardians of planet Earth, they are our guardians, aren't they?
Yes, they are, but their ability to intervene is seriously limited because Earth is a free will planet. How would the majority of people feel if a Grey turned up down here ordering people to give up alcohol, drugs, gambling, etc.? They're already accused of doing all sorts of horrible things, including planning to invade the planet. Earth humans themselves are the only ones who can make these changes. I repeat, Earth is a free will planet.
However, it is understandable that the people of Earth who are privy to this information would like to see an intervention from the Greys for the well-being of our planet. I know you've been very clear before in telling us that Earth is a planet of free will, and so such intervention is not permitted. Can you talk to us more on this?
Yes, this is the problem. The abuse of drugs and alcohol, as well as out-of-control gambling, is a free will choice. Nobody is forced to take up these things. Sure, it tends to run in families, but free will still prevails. If the majority of Earth humans decide today to stop their gambling, drug and alcohol abuse, these industries would soon come crashing down. Humanity itself holds the power to stop this. The responsibility lies firmly in our hands. That's where it begins and ends. It's not the job of the ETs to do this. It's the responsibility of Earth-plane humanity. And this is an all-important part of our maturing and empowerment process. Of course, it's the last thing that the controllers want, for humanity to grow up, become truly empowered, and take control and responsibility for themselves. That would be the end of the planetary controllers.
We've spoken many times about the planetary shift and how the controllers do not want this. And this is the reason why they're ramping up the fear factor here on Earth, which can be clearly seen right now. Regarding the shift and why it's happening now, you've spoken about two cycles coinciding and how both short and long cycles are ending and new cycles are beginning. Can you give us a recap on how the shift is providing humanity with the opportunity to choose the next stage of our evolutionary journey? There's both positive and negative aspects to the process of passing through the end of an old cycle and moving into a new one. Can you start with the positives?
This basically covers what we've just discussed. The shift is awakening more people's conscious awareness to the extent of control that has gone on down here for millennia. People are starting to wake up to the depth of brainwashing and dumbing down that has happened, especially through politics and religion, both of which have been responsible for all the wars fought here on Earth. People are also waking up to the way big business, the media and advertising have all controlled and brainwashed us. Quite a few years ago here in Australia, the advertising of alcohol and cigarettes on TV was banned, now to be replaced by online gambling advertisements that pop up seemingly every 10 minutes or so during primetime TV. If that isn't brainwashing, then what is? The positive thing is more and more people are now waking up to this and making positive rather than negative choices. Humans are also at last beginning to understand that God is not an old man out there somewhere or sitting up on a cloud in the sky. God energy is right here within each and every one of us if we can just shift our consciousness up a notch to enable us to open up to the reality of this. In other words, stop giving your power away to something outside of yourself. You have it all within. Wake up to your own empowerment.
And the negatives?
The negatives are that not enough people are open enough or willing to do this, or to even acknowledge it. I've just been reading a great book written by Lisette Larkins, revised by her in 2013 and entitled Talking to Extraterrestrials, Transforming Our World with the Help of Enlightened Beings. Lisette has had contact with the Greys for much of her life, and on page 114 of this book, this is what her Grey teachers have to say. Describing your beautiful planet as a wasteland may seem harsh, but we emphasise it to get your attention. Your nest you call home is genetically polluted and impacted daily by big business, whose chief concern is often only that which shows on a profit and loss statement. The fact that such short-sightedness has not only been allowed to flourish but has been encouraged by your governments speaks for the lack of awakening in general on your planet. This is precisely why your training must now begin in the art of manifestation, because you must all move away from a reliance on big business and government to supply your every need.
I understand what the Grey teachers are saying here, but it almost seems insurmountable given that we are fully entrenched in the systems that support the government and the shadow government and big business for all of our needs. It just seems almost too big to comprehend to the average human being. I do believe that there are people who are working towards systems that will assist us, but that is not going to happen overnight. So the Grey teachers suggest that we begin training in the art of manifestation. Can you talk to us a little bit more about what they may mean with regards to this?
Yes, this is where we need to go back to the fact that we create our own reality through our thought patterns. This is what manifestation is all about, and this has to begin with self. Being mindful to focus on positive rather than negative outcomes. This is what the Grey teachers in Lisette's book keep coming back to. More and more people are now waking up to the way we've been brainwashed over the span of millennia. No, it won't happen overnight, as we've been stuck in this for a long time, but people are starting to awaken. It's very interesting that in the last census we had here in Australia, it was shown that many more people are moving away from religion and just describing themselves as spiritual. That says a lot. It's also good to bear in mind these quotes. Lao Tzu, if you want to awaken all of humanity, then awaken all of yourself. If you want to eliminate the suffering in the world, then eliminate all that is dark and negative in yourself. Truly, the greatest gift you have to give is that of your own self-transformation. Another one by Mother Teresa. I alone cannot change the world, but I can cast a stone across the waters to create many ripples. And the last one by Mahatma Gandhi, be the change you wish to see in the world. In other words, we cannot change the world, but we can change ourselves. It all begins with each and every one of us. The bottom line is, in reality, we are all one. So changing our own self impacts on those around us.
Yeah, those quotes are very profound. We can be in the world, but not of the world.
Yes, it's all about seeing past all the divisiveness of religion, politics, physical appearance, nationality, etc., which all come from fear, and coming back to the fact that every single one of us is an immortal spiritual being having a temporary 3D physical life experience. Taking this knowing right down into our heart centre is the key.
Yes, the heart centre of unconditional love certainly is the key to everything. So if you want to read more about all of this, I'd just like to remind you here that Judy's books are available from Amazon, or you can go directly through Judy's website, which is included in the link below. And if you liked this video, please share it with your friends and family and subscribe to this channel. Until next time, sending you all much love and thank you all for listening. Bye for now.